So hello everybody, it's Teresa with In the Garden Tarot. I am doing live free readings this afternoon. So hello everybody, it's Teresa with In the Garden Tarot. Turn that off. I am doing live free readings I have been gone for a little while, my friends. Been having some health issues that have made it hard for me to get up enough energy to be able to interact with everybody. And I have been busy. I'm sure you all have been busy. I mean, we're all busy. But today I've got the Slavic Legends Tarot card deck. And I am ready for you if you have a free reading you'd like to do. I just got to get this where I've got the volume turned off on my phone. How do I turn off the volume? I can just do this. Nightbot is here to give you some messages about other options that are going on. So, what's going on with me? Okay, so here's the deal. I think part of it is just old age. I have been struggling with some dental issues that I do not have the resources to get taken care of, so that causes me to have some pain and infection in my face that I have to deal with. I feel like such a pity party telling you this, but I figure you want to know. You have to deal with it by taking lots of ibuprofen until the infection fades away. And then I think I either have a gluten allergy that I've developed, or I have a gallbladder issue. But whatever it was, my insides were kind of messed up for a while. And whatever it is, I mean, it could be gallbladder. I'm the perfect candidate for that. Could be gluten allergy. I do eat a lot of bread products. So anyway, again, that's something where if you have the money or the opportunity to have medical coverage, which I do not, it's not something you just try and deal with unless it's an absolute emergency. So that, what it does is it makes me very tired, and it makes it very hard to do the normal things in life. And it also causes me to have the real issue is that I don't get enough sleep, is what happens. And it's going to tell you, my friends who are younger, like I'd say 40 and younger, not getting enough sleep or not getting good quality sleep really affects your life in significant ways as you get older. So it's funny, it's the little things that really make an impact on your life more than anything. So anyway, so this is my first live reading in a while, basically. And I'll be on here for a little while, and then if it looks like it's really quiet, I'll probably go ahead and shut down. But while I'm doing that, while I'm waiting, I will tell you about some things that I've got going on that I've done in between bouts of gallbladder distress. I am going to walk away from my mic because I just noticed my bathroom light is on, so I'm going to go shut that off. So I'm back. I actually figured out that I can carry my phone with me to see if anyone's jumped into the room while I was not looking at the screen. So that's a benefit. Anyway, so things that are happening. one of the things that is happening is that I started a whatnot shop. Well, I'll back up. One of the things that's happening is that at long last I finally renewed my passport, because my passport was going to expire in April. And so I, bit the bullet and renewed my passport. And the blessing is that instead of it taking 4 to 6 weeks or longer, I actually got my passport in less than 2 weeks, which was pretty impressive. It might be because I was just renewing. I'm taking that as a win. But anyway, so then what I did recently is I set up a Whatnot shop. If you don't know Whatnot, it's kind of a social community slash live stream selling platform that is a little calmer and quieter than other places. So anyway, and the reason I set that up mainly is to start selling off all my little knickknacks and things in preparation for the possibility of becoming mobile with my passport. And now that I have my passport updated, I can sell off all my knickknacks, not only to become mobile, but actually to generate some savings, because I need to have some kind of cash set aside for the next stage in my life. And another thing I did is kind of an experiment, is I set up a oh gosh, it's going to slip my mind again now. It's not Twitch. I did set up a Twitch account, but Twitch is a little too crazy for me. Substack. I set up a Substack. It's called Tired Retired, but then within that I have In the Garden Tarot. And what I'm probably going to be doing in the future is I'm going to be integrating that with my pre-recorded readings, so that I'll upload them to Substack, and then I'll also simultaneously upload them to this channel. And on the Substack, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I really don't know. I still have, with Buy Me a Coffee, I was setting up for memberships. It was $5 membership, and that included one free personal reading a month and one collective reading a month, plus a few other goodies. Still have plans to make that available at the end of this month, but that may change. But I did do some work on that. I've been doing some blog posts and putting them on Buy Me a Coffee. What else can I tell you? So yeah, so Wednesday, tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon Central Time, I'll be doing my first sale on Whatnot. If you want to join, probably be a good idea for me to put some kind of link in there for you guys, if there is one, in case you're interested. Let me look at it here. Anyway, with the Substack, and also with the Whatnot, after I've sold any of my extra stuff in my house that I can sell, I'm going to probably starting to sell my junk journals and my other arts and crafts items through Substack. Also to generate income, and also to kind of whittle down my supplies, because I hate to throw all these art supplies out, and I certainly can't take them with me if I decide to go more mobile. As a matter of fact, do I want to do that? I was like, I can show you one of my pieces, but maybe I'll spare you. Anyway, so let me look. I'm looking at Whatnot to see if I can find a link to my sale that I can put in the chat. Let's see. I don't want to do that. I won't do that. Bring in buyers thing. Share referral link. There we go. Copy link. Alright, I'm putting the link to my whatnots, my first whatnot sale in the chat right now. So I'll try and remember to put it in the description as well at the end of my live. But if you would like to see some of the items I'll be selling, check it out, please. Appreciate it. The price range is I think the most expensive. It's an auction, so it starts at the highest starting bid, I believe, is $10 for a hand carved pair of giraffes that's carved out of wood. I didn't do it. It's something I just own and love. And the other things I have, most things are around $5 starting bid. There are a few things that are $1, and there may be some things that are $3. I can't remember. I'll be putting more stuff in there as I go. And this first whatnot show will be probably about 10 to 20 items. I haven't decided yet how I want to do that. So yeah, so that's all that's going on with me. And I was trying to figure out a way to, I'm using OBS to do this live streaming, and I thought I had to figure it out where I could put a picture of me on my other camera on the screen, and I wasn't able to do that, so I'll have to figure that out. All we got is the live camera, so hi! So yeah, so it's been a rough couple of weeks. I'm feeling better now. Mostly probably because I got a couple of good nights sleep in me. I think what happens with the sleep is that my brother, who's got his sleep-wake schedule is complete opposite of mine. But if I can't get the senior bus to take me somewhere, because we don't have public transportation here, but they do have like a senior citizen bus. You pay like $1 and they'll take you somewhere in town. My brother will sometimes take me places, but his caveat is, well, you gotta get up at the crack of dawn with me to do it. And I think what happens is, I appreciate the offer, but it really messes up my sleep schedule. And I think that's sleep and other things, digestion schedule, eating schedule, everything gets messed up if I start my day 3 or 4 hours after I just went to sleep. So as much as he's kind enough to offer me, and I try not to take advantage of it too often, because the idea of waiting till 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning to do things is just not in his wheelhouse. He's just not going to do that. So as my brother would say, beggars can't be choosers. He has been working on a house that he purchased for a very crazy low price, not far from here, a mile or two from here. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, probably built in the 1960s, and he's been refurbishing it. I think he's going to be selling it. I don't know, he goes back and forth. Sometimes he says he's going to rent it, sometimes he says he's going to sell it. And the whole reason why it's being refurbished in the first place is because when he bought it, it already had a renter in it, and the renter had a job where they left their kids at home alone. They had no choice. And one of their kids basically set the house on fire because they had forgotten they put something on the stove. And no shade here, I mean, we've all done that. We've all forgotten something on the stove. But anyway, that caused a pretty significant amount of fire damage, so he had them move out, and now he's fixing it up. And in case you're curious, here where I live, which is in western Tennessee, northwestern Tennessee, a house to rent is going for about $1,300 a month. Does not even come close to being commensurate with the income here, but an apartment, not much cheaper. Maybe cheaper than where you live because it's pretty expensive. But the trade-off is you're literally 30 miles from anything significant. There's a Walmart here. There's a few Mexican restaurants. There's a Kroger. There is a Hobby Lobby. There's a few things here, but really, as far as if you want to go to a movie, no movie theater, or do anything extracurricular, you have to drive at least 30 miles away, oftentimes almost 100 miles away, which is Memphis is about 100 miles from here. So that's the trade-off. No public transportation, so you got to have a car. But I mean, as far as small towns go, it's not a bad place. But if you're on foot like me, it's, I don't know. I always say to myself, well, I say it's inconvenient, and yet the things I need to do that requires me to leave the house, since I'm retired, I can take the senior bus. It's a little inconvenient to schedule, but it's certainly not the worst thing that could happen. If I had a job, that would be a much more challenging situation. Laundry's challenging because I don't have a laundromat near here, but again, I could take the senior bus to a laundromat. Anyway, so I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm going to be keeping my eye on the chat to see if anyone comes in for a free reading, and we'll see how it goes. Just want to, I'm thinking about it, just to thank the people who are subscribed and who have come and seen me on a regular basis. I really appreciate you. I'm sorry, you're kind of in at the beginning, and for that I'm thankful. Until I get monetized, which is a long ways off, I think I have to have, I want to say like 1,000 hours of video and 500 subscribers, something like that. I am limited to Venmo, CashApp, Zelle, if anyone wants to pay for a live reading right here. And if you would like if you would like a reading that's more than just the free reading, if you have a burning question, or if you have several burning questions, I just charge a flat fee of $10 for that reading. On my Buy Me a Coffee website, you can purchase readings by time. So rather than paying $10 for 10 cards or what have you, you pay for 15 minutes to ask any question and do as many readings in that 15 minutes or 20 minutes, or I think it goes up to an hour, and the prices are there. So that's at my Buy Me a Coffee. I keep mentioning these things and thinking, you really should put the link in there, Teresa. So I'll do that in a minute. But the queue is open. I'm here at least At least 2 hours I'll be here with you, offering free readings. My free readings are usually 3 cards. You'd be surprised what kind of information you can get from 3 cards, though. I do have to tell you also, there is a delay between when I say it or do it and when it actually shows up on YouTube. Just want you to know that. Okay. Incidentally, if you hear a bunch of wrestling and whatever in the background, it's because I have a small apartment, and while I'm waiting for people to come in, I'm making my lunch. So that's what you're hearing, is me making my lunch. But I'm still watching you. Somebody's watching you. Yeah, I'm a Diet Coke fiend. You heard me right. You heard me crack that Diet Coke open. That's probably my worst, what's the word? Worst flaw? Oh, flaw's the right word. Nightbot. The link isn't there. Hey, I haven't seen you in forever. How you doing? What's new with you? Have you always had the Z8R, Devaya? Doesn't matter, I just noticed that. Oh, I just went through a whole spiel at the beginning. I've been having some health issues last couple weeks. Nothing serious, but enough to kind of like make it really hard for me to sleep well, and I was having a hard time. But I finally got a couple good nights sleep under my belt, and I'm feeling much better. And Devaya, guess what? I got my new passport. Woohoo! Oh, okay. That's interesting. I wonder what that is. Anyway, I finally, the beginning of this month, applied for to get my passport renewed. Got my passport in the mail last Saturday. So things are moving along. Things are moving along. And I just opened a Whatnot account so I can start. Almost. My next step now is I opened a Whatnot account, and I'm going to be selling off as much of my stuff as I can to kind of build up some savings. So that's the next step. But I'm looking at sometime next spring. How about you? What's your situation? I know you were going to go to Europe. You had to take care of some business there. I am fiddling with my Nightbot here, so I see the Nightbot is doing a message that doesn't really fit, so I gotta get rid of it. I thought I had taken care of all of them. I don't see it. Why did it show it if maybe it's under commands? Still in Peru? How's the job situation going? There it is. Oh, sure. I'm trying to think. I can do like one card for staying, one card for going, and then one card that kind of like gives a final connection. So one card to represent what happens if you stay in Peru, and one card to represent what happens if you go to Europe, and then the final card will be kind of like the best possible or most likely outcome. Which would you rather do, the job situation or the stay or go situation? Okay, so you want to do the job one then? So Devaya is concerned about a job situation here. Let's ask the spirits, the angels, the ancestors, guides, to give some information on the job situation. They're really looking for a contract. The contract will allow them to stay in Peru. So let's see what we get there. Okay. We have the Tower reversed, which is not a bad situation. Go here. The next card we have is the Two of Cups. That's a good one because that's kind of a card of collaboration, like coming together. And then the last card here is the Eight of Cups. No, I would say just the opposite. We have the Eight of Cups reversed. So with the Tower reversed, we've got this situation where the worst is over kind of thing, like we've reached the climax and it's getting better. And then with the Two of Cups is very much about finding like-minded souls. So that to me in a job-related reading would tell me that things are going to start looking up for the job situation. And then, but the most powerful one of all with the job situation that I like is the Eight of Cups reversed, because when it's upright, it's about searching and kind of trying to find the right place and leaving where you are. But the fact that it's reversed indicates to me that there's going to be stability and staying put where you are right now. So I just feel like it's more positive for Peru. I don't know what your situation is. I do know it's really hard to stay positive in that kind of thing. Let me just quiet my mind for a little bit here. Give me a minute, Devoya. I want to try and give you something else, because something started to come into my mind as I was speaking. It's hard to know without knowing your whole situation, and I don't expect you to give me any private information on a live setting like this, but I do have this sense of your location is maybe not the place to look. Like maybe there's another place in Peru that might be a good option for you that you might want to explore if your finances allow. Perhaps explore in another city, at least online. Explore and see what there is in another city. My little heart is in the way. Yeah. I hope it does go through for you, because I know how stressful it can be. Totally can tell how stressful it can be. But this feels very positive, and I would also say that I just have this feeling like it could even be just on a little mini vacation. But I just have this feeling like maybe checking out another part of Peru. I hope that helps you. Let's see, what do we got? So the 2 and the 10 together, or 2 and the 8 together make 10. 10s are usually about things coming to a conclusion. In another town? You're in another town at the moment? I can't explain it, but I get this. You're going to probably think I'm really weird, but I get this sensation in a certain part of my brain that tells me there's something to tune into, but I'm not able. I know it's lame, but I'm not able to focus in on it. I keep seeing this idea of like going someplace else or looking someplace else. Okay, I'm glad, Devaya. I'll keep you updated. If you end up watching the first part of the video later, it'll fill you in on what's going on, but I'll keep you updated. I'm looking at next spring. I still haven't decided on a country. Guatemala is a pretty strong runner right now, and I may even go back to the idea of staying in Panama, at least for a little while. It really depends on my health and how much money I'm able to collect from selling all my knick-knacky things here on on Whatnot. Here's a weird question. I just had a vision of a wine glass with wine in it. Like, it's really zoomed in on the wine glass on a table. Maybe it means have a glass of wine and relax. I don't know. Devaya, if you have time and you have inclination, drop me an email. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I remember when I first met you, I was talking about going and staying up by the lake there, and my mind is going back that way. But I'm not at the planning stage just yet. I will be fairly soon. Yeah, cheap is important to me because I'm not a wealthy American like a lot of these people you see on YouTube. I saw a person on YouTube who was, I was so embarrassed to be an American and listen to him talk. I think, and by wealthy I mean there are a lot of people who are in the United States that might be like middle class here in the United States, but where they live in wherever they went, Colombia or Guatemala, whatever, they're very well off, and there's a lot of resentment for that, and I feel uncomfortable because I am not well off, and I don't like being kind of lumped in with that group of people, and it really makes you pause and think about the prejudices that we all have for entire groups of people that is based on only one small percentage of that group of people, you know. I am so looking forward to that. I think that if I do go to Guatemala, I will be going and staying up around that lake, checking out all the little communities there. And then if not Guatemala, then the other option is Panama. I'm not as excited about Panama as like a place to stay because it is more expensive, but it does have advantages for someone to start striking out on their own, you know. This is the first time I've done a live in like, well, at least 2 weeks, if not longer. Wow, my video's got some serious lag on my phone. Hopefully it's not that bad for you. Okay, Devaya, good luck with the job, contract hunting. I'll be thinking good, positive thoughts about that for you. Take care. Hi, how are you? Samantha, have you... I am here, yes. There is a bit of a lag. It's about... Thank you. I'm pretty good, Samantha. I was just at the beginning of my live, I talked all about, I've had a few, I haven't been on live for a while. Thanks for asking. But I got a few good sleeps under my belt now. I'm feeling much better. And so here I am. Samantha, do you have a particular, do you want a reading? And if so, do you have a particular question you want to ask? Costa Rica, Samantha. That's so funny. I was just talking to Devaya, who is in Peru, and I am hoping to possibly move to Guatemala next spring. Thank you, Samantha. That's so sweet of you to say. Yeah, I've been having some health issues, just minor ones, but enough to put me off doing my readings. Okay, if you will post your question, Samantha, I'll get right on it. I have a friend who's going to Argentina, Buenos Aires, this winter, because he lives in Pennsylvania where it gets really cold and he gets SAD, I think it's called. He gets seasonal depression. And so he's going to go down there and stay for a few weeks through the worst of winter. I'm just waiting to see your question and then we'll get started. No hurry. Okay, so let's make it, is someone coming for you in love within the next 3 months? Because it's better, I mean, odds are someone's coming for you in love sooner or later, so we want to like kind of narrow it down so you have some kind of timeline. So, is anyone coming for Samantha in love in the next 3 months? And if it's possible, can we include something about the person that would be helpful for them? So, asking the spirits, opening to the spirits, opening to the angels, the ancestors, those who are outside of time and can see the future for that reason. Is someone coming for Samantha in love in the next 3 months? And can you tell us a little bit about them? Alright, let's see what we got. 6 of Wands. That's a very positive one. Ace of Coins reversed. And the Queen of Cups. Samantha, with the 6 of Wands being there, I would say that there is someone that's going to be coming for you. I got to say it a different way because coming from you sounds slightly threatening. There is going to be love coming into your life within the next 3 months. This is the kind of like the conquering hero being brought back. This is someone, if I were to use this card as a describer, this is for someone who's very admired and very much invested in taking care of others and the community. And because of that, they might be a public figure, not like a celebrity public figure, but they might be someone who's very much involved in the community, either officially or unofficially, and is someone who likes to inspire others, likes to help others. We also have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So with the Pentacles, there is, I think that it's going to be, you know, do you do any volunteer work, Samantha? Do you volunteer for any organizations, help people out? It's with the Ace of Cups, it's not necessarily a new beginning, but it might be a new... Samantha, I think it deletes you because Nightbot doesn't like a lot of emojis. Okay, let me look here. So if you put a lot of emojis, Nightbot gets all upset. So sorry about that. Okay, so you do work in some kind of charitable organization, or you do some kind of volunteer work. Am I understanding that correctly? I would say that as far as a job, there's two ways to look at this reverse pentacles. One of them would be you're not going to meet them at work. And the other one would be is that you will meet them through some kind of charitable work, especially combined with that 6 of Wands. And also, and the Ace indicates something new, something starting. Well, dang. Samantha, I think working in a hospital is definitely a beautiful thing. So I would say that it's probably someone that you're not, well, if you work in a hospital, I could see it as someone who is, because one of the meanings of the Pentacles is health, and the fact that it's reversed, you might be meeting someone through, but it would be like a patient, like someone you are taking care of in the hospital. So don't count that out, because that is a possible interpretation of that Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, but it might be a patient. And the reason I say that is because we have the Ace, which is a new beginning, and we have the Pentacles, which can apply to health. So it is possible. And then the other possible application of it, and the reason why I was asking if you did any volunteer work, is because there is this sense of being in an environment where you're helping others, which I thought of charitable work, but hospital would definitely fit that. Yeah, I bet you did. You know, I'm going to use a kind of foul language thing. Have you ever heard the expression? I'm gonna clean it up. There's like every other wise saying, there's like the opposite that's also a wise saying. So here's the two wise sayings, the yin and the yang. The first one is don't poop where you eat. And the other one is that most people meet their future spouse at work or through a work event. Okay, so the last card here is the Queen of Cups. Samantha, I do not know your orientation, but I do want to let you know that it doesn't necessarily have to be a woman. It could be a man with those qualities. Or it can be a woman with the qualities of the Queen of Cups. But whoever it is, Samantha, I don't know how old you are, but I would say that this person is probably older, as in like if you're 20, they're 30, that sort of thing. An older person who is a feelings kind of person, so they don't hold back their feelings, but they're not necessarily a fiery person. They're more of a nurturing person. And I think that being in the nursing field, you probably need someone to come home to who is able to help you to put aside what you experience every day at work and get into your feelings. Yeah, so someone older than you, someone that is a creative person, because cups are almost always related to the arts in some way, but also a nurturing, a person who's in touch with their feelings, in touch with their emotions. And they're intuitive, so they're also in touch with yours. Yeah. An older person who's set, if they're a male, I mean, there's this whole concept of the anima and the animus. If they were a male, this would be who they are inside. Their feminine aspects, even though they may present masculine. And then the opposite with women. I don't know how it works. I don't know how that concept works with people who are not cis. So I'm not sure. But I would say in the next 3 months you are going to meet someone. There's a lot of possibilities here. But I feel positive about that. You also have at the bottom of your deck the Ace of Wands. Okay, thanks. I don't really know. I try not to assume, based on names. You have the Ace of Wands in the bottom, which is good. That's a good, like, fiery, inspiring, passionate kind of thing. So I'd say yes, you are going to meet someone. I'm thinking, sorry. Good. That's good. Samantha, be careful not to try and pigeonhole people. I know that I'm 64. When I was your age, back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, I had this idea that I was going to make a list of all the qualities that would be the perfect spouse for me. And I find that that's kind of self-defeating. You don't know who, you can't really like make a menu of like qualities and expect that to be a successful relationship, I guess what I'm saying. So just be open. All right, Samantha. You'll have to come back and let me know. Give me a like or subscribe if you will, if you haven't already. Samantha, I don't want to get too personal, but I am kind of a nosy person. So you said you're in what country? Oh, Costa Rica. Are you a native of Costa Rica or did you move there? I looked at Costa Rica as a possible place to visit, and I may still visit it. But it's such a touristy place now, and I've thought, well, if I were to go there, I would probably go to the central Costa Rica, to the mountains, and get away from the tourists. But I think that thank you. I think that it's maybe it's always been, but it seems a little too expensive for me. I'm not one of those Americans who had a good job and a good pension and a house that they could sell, and I'm not one of those people. And so a lot of the places that I've looked at, including Costa Rica, seem to be too expensive. Where are you planning on going? If you don't mind me asking. I think I said earlier, the front runner right now for me is Guatemala. The lake. There's a lake there that I'm interested in, that area. Yeah. Well, Samantha, if you will yeah, I don't know. I see, that's one of my fears. I've lived internationally before. I lived in China, but I had a community around me already built when I went there. Oh, I guess you have the freedom to move around as being a healthcare professional. They're always in demand. And you're young too. To be a healthcare professional and to be young, there's so many countries right now that are begging young people to come to their country because they don't have the population anymore that they need. I think Germany is one of them. Canada. So the world's kind of your oyster there. I don't know. I didn't see travel in the cards. That doesn't mean you shouldn't travel. But there were no travel cards in this spread. If you had like a 3 of Wands or an 8 of Cups or even a Chariot, that might indicate travel, but you didn't have those. But you can't stop your whole life, Samantha, because you want to find a partner. Live your life. Live your life and be authentically you. That's the way to find a partner. At least that's my 2 cents of wisdom right there. Okay. Have a good day at work. Oh, it's my pleasure. I cannot believe that I have actually been on here for an entire hour. I've eaten my lunch, I've talked to Samantha, talked to Devaya. It's always nice to talk to people, hopefully be helpful to them. I'm noticing, what was I noticing a minute ago? Oh, it's 2:24 in the afternoon here, which means that everyone's either, there's a lot of factory work here, so there's a shift ending. So I'm hearing a lot of traffic driving by, also people getting ready to pick up their kids from school. So hopefully that noise, if you hear it, is not distracting to you. I live in a little apartment right on the corner, so I get all the traffic, all the noise. So I'm going to take a moment here to mention, actually I was going to put this in my chat. I don't know what I just put in the chat, but that's not what I wanted to put in the chat. I'm going to go back here. I don't want to mute myself either. Let's see if I can erase it this way. Okay, there we go. I meant to put in the chat the link to my I'll put this in again. I have a whatnot sale tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock, and there's the link to that. But I also wanted to give you a link to my Buy Me a Coffee page, so that you can see the options for getting a more complete private reading. And that's proving more challenging than I anticipated. Let's get rid of that. Let's open this. I'm not sure. I'll have to do that at a later point because I can't find. Surely there's something that gives me a link or something I can share with you guys, and there probably is. I just can't find it. So we are here at In the Garden Tarot. I'm offering free readings. I'll be here for about another 45 minutes or so. I'm trying to find a link for my I didn't want to do that. For my Buy Me a Coffee page. And I'm just not finding it. So sure. I'll just have to put it in the description later because I don't see it anywhere. But yeah, I have I'll be having a Whatnot sale at 2 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. It's my first official sale, although I might do an unofficial one today if I'm feeling up to it. And what I'm doing is I'm selling off all my little things that if I were to move, I really don't want to have to pack up and put in storage. So, and I also need to build up my savings, so I'm doing that by selling all this stuff. And then if I keep the Whatnot beyond selling all the little knickknacks and things I have, a lot of them are vintage, then I will probably start selling my junk journals and my other craft items on Whatnot. We'll see how that goes. And artwork. I do mixed media artwork. I really like collage. I always have. Pretty much almost everything I have is an 8x10 because I can't really afford to buy the substrate for larger artworks. So I work with smaller artworks, which is a benefit for you because you get, if you were to purchase it, you get an original artwork at a reasonable price if you're into art. It's so funny because I'm used to all the traffic noise, so I don't even notice it during the day, but when I'm online here with you, I notice it like big time. I'm like so aware of it. If you wonder why I keep putting my hand out, it's because I'm checking my camera. To figure out the lag. Because there is a lag between my computer and YouTube. The lag's pretty long. Looks like it's like 12 seconds, 15 seconds. Hey there, how are you? Why they keep sending you to the hospital? I don't answer. Well, let me ask you this. Can you be a little more specific by what you mean by danger and the they who are sending you to the hospital? Because I don't really talk about I don't talk about medical issues with the tarot. It's for entertainment only. So can you give me a little bit more information about danger and hospital? Those are... Well, you can... I don't mind answering the question as long as I understand what the question is about. You're spiritually unsafe. So you feel like there are people who are spiritually doing you harm, and as a result it's sending you to the hospital? I can definitely give you some information on the spiritually unsafe part of it. I'm just based on your your screen name, I would say that your number one go-to should, of course, be praying to your Heavenly Father. And believing in their protection. So I'll go ahead and do a reading on, just to get us some information on these people that you feel are causing you to be spiritually unsafe. Would that be a good question? Yes, it is. It is your turn. Do you feel comfortable with me finding out information about those who are making you feel spiritually unsafe and asking Heavenly Father rather than spirits, ancestors, and angels? Okay, so so this is what I'm going to do. How about if I ask for wisdom in this situation for you? And what I'd like you to do is, I want you to think about the situation that you're concerned about. You don't have to tell me anything, just think about it, and I'll shuffle cards, trusting that Spirit will give us something useful to you in that situation. How's that? Guardian spirits, Heavenly Father and His angels, ancestors, please give this child of yours some helpful information, because they feel uncomfortable, they feel like they're being sent to the hospital through the guise of other folks. And we come to you in humility. Okay, so we definitely have, as you pointed out, a health issue going on right now. There is a need for rest and recuperation. I would say that if you can get away from the people or situations and get into a safer place, that would be a good idea for your health. The King of Cups here is, it's a powerful and mature energy. It can be masculine or feminine, and it is upright, so it's the more positive aspects of that. And when we look at cups, we look at deep feelings, strong emotions, and coupling that with the Four of Wands, I would say that, would you say that it's fair to say it's a kind of toxic environment or a really chaotic environment that you're in right now? Like maybe nothing's happening directly to you, but there's things happening around you that are causing you stress. I would say, I'm assuming, listening to the reading, that the card on the bottom of the deck is the Six of Cups reversed. The Six of Cups refers to relationships, oftentimes family or close friend relationships from the past. When it's upright, it's a positive influence. When it's reversed, it's more of a negative influence, indicating that there may be some trauma from the past that's coming forward into the present and maybe having a role to play in this situation. So overall, what I would say, let's see, that my best advice I would give you in your situation, I don't know whether, not health or whatever it is if you have an opportunity to create some boundaries and create some space between you and the people or things that are causing you distress, that I would do so, and that I would be resting. And by resting, I don't mean just sleeping all day long. I mean like you're doing things that are healthy for you and helps you to relieve stress, which would be exercise, eating healthy, having good strong boundaries with other people, stepping away from situations that are causing you emotional stress, because we have the King of Cups here. We definitely have an emotional component, and also possibly, not necessarily 100%, but possibly taking a look at some trauma in the past that might be causing this situation, or bad blood that happened in the past. It would be, if this applies, that would be with someone who was very close, like family members or very close childhood friends, even siblings. So my friend, I hope that that was helpful to you. I feel felt a lot of real strong energy from you when I was shuffling. So not bad or good, just a real strong energy from you. So that's good. And don't forget the power of prayer. No matter what your beliefs are, the power of prayer is definitely a thing. I hope that helps you saved if you haven't already. I would appreciate it if you'd like or subscribe. And I do wish you all the best. Looks like we're headed into the final half hour of my time here. I am Teresa at In the Garden Tarot, offering free readings today until about the next 25 minutes. I'll be finished. I just want to thank the folks that came in for coming in. I thank you all for subscribing and liking and even commenting. That helps the channel. I'm sure you've heard a million times. I am watching the chat, so if you have a question, just jump on in with your question, and I will jump on into action. So if it looks like nothing's happening, it's just that I'm here. I'm just waiting to see a message from someone who wants a reading. So not to worry, there is about a 15-second lag between the time I say or do something and the time it appears on YouTube. So be aware of that. crash bang. Okay, we're about 5 minutes away from our 2-hour mark, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. Once again, thank you to those of you who came in and got a reading. If you haven't already, I would most appreciate it if you would like or subscribe. Let your friends know. I will try and be on again this evening, probably around 5 to 7 o'clock my time, which is Central Time. Otherwise, I hope to see you again in another live, and you have a great day.